The last one is the most beautiful one. I lost my mother 3 years ago. And the moment this happened, who are the first question, who am I? If I'm not the one who's showing up, if I'm not the one who's performing, if I'm not the one who's supporting her and keeping my family house intact, then who am I? The void that it left. It's not the incident. It is the question of who am I?
Hi, this is Debbie Thompson, and this is A Stone in My Shoe, the podcast where we explore the moments in life where something no longer feels quite right and what happens when we choose to listen. And today I'm joined by Riham El Hawary. She's known as the Mind Architect, a business psychology expert who explores how people reshape their inner world to create meaningful change in their outer lives. With a background spanning executive leadership in multinational organizations, her work now focuses on identity, behavior, and the quieter moments of transformation that often go unseen. Her journey has been one of continuous reinvention, navigating the space between who we are, who we've been, and who we're becoming. Riham, welcome.
Debbie, thank you. Thank you for having me and allowing me this space to talk with your audience. And I'm very much looking forward to this.
So am I. And just for those listening, the wonder of modern technology, Riham is in Egypt and I'm in a caravan traveling around Australia in the middle of the desert right now. And yet we can connect. Isn't that magic?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, just, and it comes back to the idea, Debbie, that we are not separated by borders. We're not separated by nationalities. We are women. We are our identity. We are just scattered on this piece of earth, as I say.
Yes. And that is so beautiful because, as you're right, it doesn't matter where we come from, what our background is. In essence, we're all the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Beautiful. So before we begin talking about the stone in your shoe, I just wanted to ground this for the woman who's listening to this podcast. As she hears your story today, what do you hope she begins to see or understand about herself?
One thing, she is complete. She is existing. She is here and she is now. And just some clarification, get rid of this noise, this collective conscious taboos, and you are there. We are here. We are here. Your identity is with you, like with me, like with anybody else. But some noise, Debbie, just noise around us. Yeah. Yes.
And I love the simplicity of that is you are whole. And we get so caught up in all the noise, all the stories that we tell ourselves. And just knowing that one core thing, I am whole, I am perfect, I am here, I'm alive, I'm breathing. Love it.
Thank you.
Love it.
Truth. It is the absolute truth.
Lovely. Can you just tell us a bit more about who you are and particularly in this season of your life?
I'm 55 years old now. And as I always remind myself, as well as say it in public, I'm a woman who lived through many versions of herself, through many transformation phases that cleared the way to who I am now with you, Debbie, with your audience. And it is just cleared the way. This is why I started by saying we're whole. It is not healed. It is not transformed or shaped or shifted. No, it's just cleared my version of myself with you, which I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but today, this is the version who's talking to you. So yes, I'm a woman, been through versions, been through, love it when you talk about things which is retroactive, you can see it clearer now. been through a transformation of activating identity, been through the transformation of activating the new identity. First, activation of my career, activation of my identity. And in this season, as you asked, I believe that this is the transformation of alignment. This is when everything starts making sense of, and this is what I feel, and I live it every day. This is why your platform is beautiful. It gives me a chance, it gives the audience a chance to really look at it, where we've become, how it happened, how beautiful our life is, even though it was like sometimes edgy, painful, things like that. But
Yeah, I love that is the alignment is that all these versions of ourselves, same person, same essence, just different versions, different seasons. And as you said, some were great, some were a bit more challenging, some were downright terrible. But all of it makes sense and it's alignment coming together. I think your 50s is such a powerful time because you can look out on all these different seasons and see how they all map together, don't they, to make you whole.
absolutely mapped together, cleared the way. It really
Mm.
cleared the way to the one who's with you now.
Beautiful. Love it. So when we go back to the stone, you said you've gone through transformations. Was the stone we're going to talk about today the time when you started doing the inner work that started the transformation? Or when did that all start?
Let me tell you a little bit of a background.
Mm.
I've been groomed since I was 6 years old to take responsibility. And the word groomed. My father, he was a pilot. And at the age of 6, I remember he always said, I fly a piece of metal with fuel and fire. I can go and not come back. So if this happened, and that I was 6, if this happened, then you are the one who's responsible for your mother and your sister. This house should run the same way as I'm here. So grooming, it means like from the age of 6, the first time I heard it, and I remembering it that clear, till he passed away, I've been groomed for this job. So if you talk about what is the stone was the identity, Debbie. You really, it is your identity. It takes different shapes. It takes a different shape, like when my father passed away, and I have to activate the identity of being the responsible person with obligation, who's there, who shows up, who performs the role. And another transformation is when you reach the culmination of your career, success, presence, power, recognition. And the last one, which is the most beautiful one, it happened 3 years ago. And this is where I say identity is everything. Because if you know your identity, you will not be shifted by just some winds or some environmental turbulence, as we say. So the last one is the most beautiful one. I lost my mother 3 years ago. And the moment this happened, the first question, who am I? If I'm not the one who's showing up, if I'm not the one who's performing, if I'm not the one who's supporting her and keeping my family house intact, then who am I? The void that it left. It's not the incident, it is the question of who am I?
Yes. Wow. And as a 6-year-old to take on that responsibility and to be told what you were told in those graphic terms, that was very, very powerful, probably quite frightening, there must have been so many emotions. When did you have to activate that? You said that was the first one. How old were you when your dad died, in which you had to activate and now be the one responsible for your family home, for everything running as it should have or as was expected?
I was 27 at that time. And you have to know that at the age of 27, I already graduated from engineering university. I'm an architect, I'm working, but it was not activated the part that I am now the one who's carrying the flame, as I say, or the one who's anchoring the fear of the family when they lose the one who's taking care. I remember clearly, Debbie, and when our driver, when my father passed away, I just a tear, a little bit of a tear just was running on my face. And he came running to me and he said, please don't show the tear, don't cry, because we're all gaining our strength from you. So don't cry. And I cried, I think, about a month or a month and a half after my father passed away, because I wasn't allowed to cry. It's, again, the performing your role. Performing your role when it is not aligned with your identity. It is hectic, it's draining, it's scary. And again, it's beautiful when you look at it retroactively. But when you are within it, this is where the real raw strength shows. Not when everything blows away out of proportions. I was lucky to be groomed. If I didn't know that this is my path, this is my role, this is where I'm going, if he told me don't cry, I might have been shocked. But because I'm groomed that this is the responsibility, then it made sense to me at that time. It did make sense. Whereas making sense in this time doesn't mean this is my identity. It's just a role that I had to perform.
And I think also at 27, you're just discovering who you are, you're moving away from your parents and their identity and forming your own. And then having to go back and take hold of this huge responsibility that was ingrained, as you said, because you were groomed, and having to be the strong one for your whole family and not allowing to grieve in a way that might have been more authentic for you because that wasn't an option for you. So you had to, I'm sure, close down some of the feelings that you were feeling. How did you process that later on, or when did that come and emerge that you had to process it? You couldn't keep being the strong one, keeping it together for everybody.
I'm a very stubborn person. I am a very stubborn person. And when I believe in something, then there is nothing that can shift what I believe in. It's very difficult. And your question is beautiful because this happened, and this is where I consider myself lucky. I was pushed to it. When this happened is I was at that time 36 or 37, okay, about 10 years after what happened. And my body, I was like really on top. The first woman in the Middle East to do that, the first person who's done that. The career is, I mean, like you cannot debate it. It's there, clear in black and white. I made the money because after my father passed away, all what comes to my mind, yes, success and money to be able to support. Yes, I need to live on the same standard of the daughter of a pilot and a wife of a pilot for my mother, and this concept has to be there. So money career was number one. Nothing deterred that until my body said, you will not take this anymore. This is not who you are. And the body is collapsed, Debbie. It was like crazy. I didn't understand it at the moment. The quicksand effect, that the more I fight it, the more I drain into it. It sucks me inside. And the body itself said, no, no more. And that was Because I'm a stubborn person. So the lessons comes to you. Now I'm seeing it retroactively. Huh? The lessons comes to you based on your personality, your identity. So if you're stubborn, then something forceful has to come out that tells you, no, even if you want it, if you are stubborn, you will not get your way. So I got a total breakdown. The body got total breakdown. And this is where I understood what detachment is. When you are detached from the physical body. And this is where it gets crazy. You cannot understand. You want to move your hand, it's not coming with you. It's like, this is the basics of life. Come on. How it happened. This is the second one, which I wanted to emphasize when you said it. This is where I waited for it to break. And that was the lesson. Do not wait for it to break down. Do not wait for it till it slaps you in the face, because if it does that, it is so hard. If I could have seen it, I wouldn't have spent like a year or year and a half treating the physical body and the mental body to be able to be whole again. So this is the good.
But Riham, people like you who are, you called it stubborn, but with that stubbornness is this focus and this ability to know when you've got your mindset on something, you go for it and you're highly successful. And much of that is in the mind because you can harness it, you can focus it. And what's interesting, Riham, is you said that you were stubborn, but that stubbornness came from this enormous strength. As a young girl, you had to carry this torch for the whole family. And it meant that you could achieve everything that you put your mind to, and not just achieve it, but achieve it incredibly well. So then to have your body go, I'm giving up on you. And that is really hard. Did you see any little pebbles or stones along the way that were telling you, Riham, you have got to listen to your body or something is going to happen?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always, listen, Debbie, again, I'm seeing it retroactively. At that time, it just didn't make sense to me. This is why I didn't see it. Because my lens, the lens that I was seeing things through, is I am doing it. I am capable. What is the heck with some fever? What is the problem with that? I have a nerve that it's twitching. Nothing would stop. Life goes on. Tomorrow is another day. The sun is still coming. All of this, which you are consciously programming your mind to do to be able to move from one day to the other with the same strength. This is what made, these were my lenses, who made me not see all the way what's happening. It was happening. My body was getting tired. Things were not aligned. I'm not happy anymore. I'm not smiling as I used to. These are all pebbles that I should have noticed. But again, because we as culture, let me tell you this, and honestly, I've been all over the world. And truly, this is a big lie that you're an American, you are a European, you are Australian, I'm from the Middle East. That's a big lie. A human being is a human being. Identity is identity. A personality is a personality. This is the core. We just, the cultural embedded consciousness, it made us think we're different. It made us see through lenses like to be strong. And this is where you see to be strong and successful, you have to be stubborn. You have to be like a man. You have to be blah, blah, blah. Isn't that crazy? Isn't this really stupid?
Absolutely. And it's the same. Australian, I lived in England for a while. It's the same thing as being strong. Everything's about being strong and capable. And, and so we suppress things and this comes out. So you had this, your body said enough. And you had some or pebbles, but you hadn't actually seen them for what they were. And what did you learn from this? And to take through to the next, was it a big learning or just a little learning that you then had to learn it again later on?
Oh, it was a big one because at that time I decided that there is something wrong. There is definitely something wrong. There is something in me is not working anymore. And this is where I said, okay, then I'm a woman. All right, then I nurture. I'm not a machine. I'm not a money making machine. I'm not a competitor to men. Where is my life as a woman? And again, the same mistake. The same mistake. The same mistake was my father groomed me to this direction. Okay. Now the societal concept of being a woman groomed me to the next direction. What is it like? Now I think I should get married. Now I think I should have my own family. Now I think I should tame myself down a little bit, be nice. No, like be.
And so did you go down that route of
So
what's
I went to
exciting?
that road,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
total opposite, the
Hey.
masculinity
Mhm.
before and total femininity now. So it was like a different life, a learning experience, beautiful learning experience. But again, first time it wasn't me. Second time it wasn't me either.
And what was the thing, the stone or and it's not always one event, it's also a culmination that got you to think, who am I?
This is the alignment phase that I had to go through the past 3 years. And boy, what a journey, Debbie. Oh my God. What happened is like a fairy tale. And it was quiet. And this is how beautiful it was. It was quiet. It wasn't that turbulent. It wasn't like being sick. It wasn't like losing your father. Yes, I lost my mother. Fine. But this wasn't the trigger. The trigger was when my mother passed away, and I was really in debt because of her sickness and lots of things. And the family, which is my sister, my aunt, and they acted in a way of pushing me away. Like her responsibility when it's too much for us. She's not performing the role we used to. It wasn't about inheritance. It wasn't about money. No, we want you to play that role, the role that you used to play for 55 years, for 53 years at that time of your life. Where are you? And this was when I started to live the journey while I'm in it. We always see retroactively. No, this time I was adamant about not seeing it retroactively. Let me see it now as it happening, real time. And Debbie, the first time I work everywhere. So the first time I was about to travel to give a lecture, a seminar, and I was getting dressed. Something hit me. Nobody knows where I am. If anything happened to me, nobody would know. I don't have a family anymore. They disowned me, maybe, if this is a right word, for no reason. And this is what is, it is quiet. It is the silent detachment for no reason. And it was smooth to an extent that you cannot hold it. You cannot say, this is the problem. If I did that, they would do this. It wasn't like that. It was like quiet separation. And it is scary. The scary part that I'm now alone. I'm really alone. I don't have responsibilities anymore. I don't have to perform anymore for anybody. It's just me and me. Like coming to this, as much as it was scary because it was the real deep feeling of loneliness, I sometimes couldn't sleep because I was like, I don't want to close my eyes. Imagine that was, I'm 53 after all what I've been passed through. But here, when I came face to face with nobody's telling me how should I perform, or there is no written script to how should I be. Now everything is open. Everything is allowed. It's just what do you want? And that was the question. Who am I? What do I want? Who's the real me? I can now pave the life that it was meant for me all along. Yes, there was pain. Yes, there was agony. I couldn't understand why they are doing this. I gave you all my life. I gave you all my money. I did everything. So why? And when I asked why, instead of playing the victim of, oh my God, I sacrificed, I didn't get it back. Oh my God, I performed. Oh my God, I depleted my resources. Oh my God. When I stopped this because everything was opened in front of me for me this time to design my own identity, I wasn't told what to do. And
Wow.
yeah,
So profound. And I just, before you go on, because this is such a beautiful way, because it wasn't like the first one, which was so unwell. It was powerful and slap in the face. This is a subtle thing, difficult to actually pin down what the feeling was. And I think it's important whenever we try and make a change. I know when I've done it, you're in a dance with other people and they know the steps. And as soon as the steps change, you step on each other's shoes. And sometimes you have to go, we can't dance together. And sometimes you have to go, we need a new dance. But it all depends on how you can navigate that. But the other thing that you said that was really powerful is that there was this feeling that you couldn't really grasp, you couldn't put, but you stayed with it because you
Mhm.
could have got down the root of loneliness and I'm all alone and regret and oh my God, and I've worked so hard and all the things I've done. Oh, I'm not blinking. What do I need to do? But you went to this really deep place to go, who am I and what am I doing? How, for somebody listening, they'll be going, oh my God, that is amazing. That's what we all want. How did that happen? Did you have to get support, counseling, or anything like that? Or was it something that you just felt so deeply that you had to spend some time and space there?
Okay. This is a beautiful question because this is the core of everything. It is the core of everything. It's core of our evolution as a human being. And this time I was adamant, Debbie, I can answer it because I was living in it. I'm not looking at it retroactively. I was living in it. And the thing that it took me like 3 months, 3 months, asking, why is it happening? Why? How heartless they are. And they are leaving me in my weakest point. And then I took my bags, went to my summer house, which I'm talking to you from in North Coast in Alexandria. And I closed the door, just me and with nature, in a place that I love, I built. And now the real work was, from where do you want to start? This is how I asked myself, from where do you want to start? And I learned at that time that it's not starting by forgiving, as everybody's saying. You cannot forgive if you cannot know who you are or you have an identity. So who am I? And I started to think, okay, what would I like to do today? What would I like to read? Why was this my happy moments at that time? Let me do what I used to love. Let me dance. Let me read. Let me write. So I was like a free floating. I'm not fighting. You know, when when you go swim in the sea, since I'm close to the sea, and you try very hard to swim, and you're hardly floating, but when you leave yourself, you're just floating. Just leave yourself. And I said, I leave myself. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, and nobody can help me in this. No one, because it's subtle. You don't have anything to talk about, really. Come on, Riham, let me get to know you. And this was, Riham, come and let me get to you in this season of your life. What do you want? What would make you happy? And then I started like this, learning, learning who I am. That was a beautiful experience. And boy, I just fell in love with who I am, with the pebbles, with the scars on the body, with the ups and downs, with having lots of money, having no money, being the top of the ladder, being like, and being in the lowest level of the ladder. It's beautiful. I loved it. Then now I have a story to say. Before that, it's life taking me. But this time, which I say transformation by alignment, I am aligning who I am.
That
Beautiful.
Yeah, that is amazing. And I bet many people listening to this going, that is what I want. That is what I want. I don't want to be pushing against the current. I want to float. But when you're pushing against the current, it's an identity that you're wearing that I have to do this because that way I'm loved, or that way I'm valued, or that's way I'm seen to be enough. We don't even know these wounds are there. We don't even know that we're acting out like that. So, my question is, and it was beautiful the way you said you just woke up every day. It's Riham, what do you want to do today? And it was subtle. It wasn't big explosions. It was today I'm going to read. Today I'll do some dancing, whatever. Was it just the small amounts of repetition of that on a daily, none of that big magic, but the small things that eventually you go, this is who I am and I love myself? Or was there anything else involved in this process of finding out who you were?
This what taught me, and it is the small things built incrementally. This is what I learned scientifically. It's my job. So yeah, I know things are built incrementally. But at that time, I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking like I'm flowing. Let me flow. Let me flow. Just let me flow. It's simple as that. Let me flow. I don't want to plan. I don't need to plan. I don't have responsibilities. And the decision is cutting down, cutting away from what my father wanted me to do, what the society wanted me to do. And I wasn't looking for myself in other people's eyes. I'm just here and it is me. First, my father told me what to do. Second, the society, the success, the understanding of success, the understanding of strength, the understanding, the collective understanding that it's costed upon us to say, yeah, I have to do this to be able to do that. And this was not correct. That is not right. You do not, this is what the first thing that I told. I will not look for who I am in other people's eyes. I do not wait for someone to tell me who I am. And that's the mistake. We all lived I lived 53 years with this mistake. Let me know who I am by how people see me. And that is God, then who I am.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you as much as you do, but you're so scared and you didn't, and you claim it on time, you claim it on responsibility, you're claiming on, I threw this on lots of hangers, believe me. But when I faced it, Debbie, I understood the word that I am performing. Performing is not acting. Performing is this is my role. I should do it to the best of my ability for people to be happy and me to be satisfied. That is performing. That is as if you're riding a bicycle up a hill. But when you are aligned, and this is my identity, it makes sense to me. I'm not struggling to do it. This is like driving Range Rover up a hill. It is smooth. And still, I'm learning it. You mean, for example, I've been giving seminars I'm on stage with 2,000 people for 3, 4 hours, just me. And it was so hectic, so draining, lots of preparation, lots of fears, intricacies that you need to look at. And this year, when I was giving this seminar, this talk, because for a year I'm working on aligning myself, it was so smooth and it was amazing for me because I was experiencing it with the audience. And this is what I say, when you are aligned, when you decide your identity, don't let anyone decide it for you. And this is what I did. Do you think I didn't cry? Did you think I didn't feel pain? Didn't you think I was lost? I was. All of this happened. Everything happened because emotions just comes out. But in the midst of this, it is a very simple thing. What do I like to do? What is aligned for me? It is not selfish. It is the inner design, the inner architecture that we came with when we came to this world.
I
Scramble, knowing.
I love that. And I love the fact that you said, yes, it was hard. Yes, it was painful. Yes, it was scary. All of those things, because you have to go back and unravel and see who you are, who you're performing through other people's eyes. Who am I for me, not for anybody else? And that is the really hard thing for many people to get their heads around for a number of reasons. Number one is the roles that they've been giving. Some of them they don't even know they're playing because they're so subconscious and
Mhm.
they've been there their whole life. It's their identity. And for the woman who's listening, who feels that they've got a stone in their shoe, but they can't, just when you first said you couldn't quite grasp it and put your name it. If
Mhm.
they're just starting out and they go on this journey, what would you say is the best place for them to start so that they can carry through? Because you're so right, it's all about repetition. It's not about a magic moment. The magic bullet doesn't exist. And
This
it's
is Hollywood. This is Hollywood.
this
Like,
is an
right?
inside job. And sorry, and also the other thing is just address many people's objections. I don't have the time. I don't know. So just for the person listening, would you mind answering those? I know there were about 3 questions in there. Sorry.
They are beautiful. So I'll do my best. First thing I have to start with, I'm not giving advice. I don't give advice. I'm like, who am I to give advice? I just show the way how I did it. But how it is done, it's about you because it is your life. Again, we will not search for our identity outside. This is very hectic because you say, if I can do it, everybody can. No, it's not. I can do it because I did certain things my own way, and this is why it happened. But the amount of pressure I'll be putting on you, Debbie, when I tell you I did this, it was successful, you should do that, and it is not the thing that is aligned for who you are. Again, we are playing the same casting of roles that people tell you what you should do. So I will not give advice because
Mhm.
it doesn't. What I can say is the only person you will be with since you're born till the day your life ends in this world is you. No one else. Yeah, there are families, there are colleagues, yes, around you. But the only one who you really live with is you. So don't you think it's a little bit wise to get to know that person? Before being so smart. I can read Debbie very well. I can help him extremely perfectly because I'm educated, I have the passion, I love her. And all of this is true because we all do the work, we help others because that gives us self-fulfillment. This is positive psychology. But don't you think that it's enough for us as human beings to be told who we are? Don't you think it's about time to get to know yourself? Because yourself will tell you how you're going to progress, how you're going to get over that, how you're going to heal. And all of these questions that we look for answer outside, it's already inside. But it has to be found out. So please, really don't stress yourself because of other lives who other people lived. They worked for them. Maybe yes, it would work for you, and maybe no. So
So,
to
so
the
what I'm
self
here,
identity, always
sorry, say
ask.
that again.
So the thing that I can say,
Yeah.
and this is the generic, this is the foundation. Who am I? And it is not important that you get an answer immediately. Just put the question, throw it away, and then just who am I? What would make me happy? What are the things that when I do it, It feels like a knot in my chest. It's, yeah, I do it. I'm perfect in it, but it's a little bit knotty. It drains my energy a little bit. Answering that questions doesn't mean you have to change it immediately. Live with it. It will come when the right time comes. But do not, and this is the point of floating. I didn't rush myself. I didn't rush myself. So I was able, I now I can see Debbie as I see you right in front of me, what my passion is. And it took me 53 years to get to know what is my passion.
So what is
I,
your passion?
yes, my passion is really leave a system, leave a process, leave a very fluid, flowy process on how to reprogram the minds for our own happiness. I'm building a program, and this is not it because the question arises enough what we hear from outside. Let's find who we are. And let's find who you are. You need to get away, get rid of the old programs, mental programs, societal programs, and build your own program. How can I do that when I'm in the middle of chaos? And this is why I came to this world to live through all of these experiences, to get to create something like that because I was there.
Mm.
So
So,
it's not, I love helping people. Yes,
mm,
of course, we love helping
mm,
people, but through who I am,
mm.
not
so,
through what they told me.
So it's almost like what you're creating is a framework because it's an inside job. We all have to do our own job, and saying that you should do this because this worked for me, as you said, puts pressure on you. It doesn't. It's not working for you. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Oh, I must be broken. So are you saying that it's a fluid framework so that we're not overwhelmed? We have a stream that is not forcing us down there, but is showing us the way so that we do it in our own way based on what works for us without going, okay, step one, do this, step two, this. Is that what you're saying? Your framework is just to help people because sometimes without a framework, it's a little bit scary to go, where do I start? What do I listen to? What does it fit? Amazing. So what is the framework? Because I will link this to the notes below. What is it called?
It's called the Mind Architect Method,
Beautiful.
and an app that it's coming. I'm working on it now, and the app will be online next year. And again, it's not my experience to be guided. So it's not a guided methodology. It is me. It's just you, the user would say, yes, that's me. Yeah, it was part, but I didn't see it before.
Mm.
Or I was conditioned not to see it. Because really, Debbie, I can tell you how it is done, but you will receive it according to your own lenses. So I cannot tell you this is the right thing because you will see it with a lens that I don't know when I'm delivering the information.
That
So the
sounds
point
amazing.
is, it is you need to, and let me put this, it's a little bit philosophical, but when people search for, I want to unveil, I want the veil to lift. And the simple answer is just let your lenses drop. Because once your lenses drop, the veil lifts things differently. So that is it. This is the whole life. We are born with a mission, with a passion, with the blueprint of what we should do in this world. But we get so much noise. We get a father that tells you this is the way to live. You get a society that tells you this is success. You got like lots of squares and pebbles that shifts you from right to left. And then you forgot the whole real blueprint you came in with. So that app just puts where is the blueprint?
Beautiful. And I think that's so important because so before I started this journey, I didn't know these lenses existed. And now that I see the lenses, they're falling off all the time. It's not one lens, it's many lenses. Some get back put back on again. Some turn shade, that's okay. It's all part of the process. But what I really love about what you're saying here is like the foundation of what I'm doing, because the thing that got me onto doing this podcast was when I heard this one lady say, the top regret of the dying is that I wish I'd had the courage to live a life authentic to me, not to what society and anybody else. And that's it. It takes courage and to be authentic. Who am I? Radically honest, the good, the bad, the ugly, all parts of it. As you said, when you looked at your life, they're amazing. They're parts, they're all sorts of parts, but it makes us who we are. We're not these perfect, we're whole, but we're not society perfect, everything perfect, mum perfect, this perfect, daughter perfect. No, we're not that. We're whole, honest, and authentic.
Absolutely. And it is built in. It is built.
Mm. Beautiful. So before we finish, is there anything else you would like to leave the person who's listening to this audience with? Any further thoughts or wisdoms?
Wisdom, it's a big word, but it's a beautiful life. When you speak, you feel like your heart is moving. It's a beautiful life when you get into a place and you have your energy with you and you can really feel it. And this will only come when you don't rush things. It's not, I put this input, I'm expecting this output. Why it's not coming? It has its own time. I'm not alone in this world. You're not alone in this world. Maybe you are ready, but the people around you are not still ready. So the divine timing, it has a sense. It has to come. Not that you're not ready, you are ready. The people around you are still not. Just wait for it to come. It will be very beautiful. Just wait.
I love the
No,
flow. I love the flow and the divine timing. That's beautiful. Riham, thank you so much for being so honest, taking us on that journey, explaining everything so beautifully, and just being vulnerable and honest, because somebody listening will see parts of themselves, because as you said, we're all whole, we're all the same. We're all whole and we're all the same. So I just want to thank you so much for taking your time and being on the podcast today.
Debbie, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to take this journey with you because I learned through it while I'm with you. And it is beautiful to have people like you. It's not the idea of doing something big or major or, yeah, that would rock the social media. The small things that makes the real difference. It's truly, honestly, I lived it. It's not preaching. I lived it. I saw it. It is true.
Beautiful. And as you finish listening today, just notice what stayed with you. Maybe it's a feeling, something isn't quite right. And maybe, just maybe, don't ignore that.